home inspections in Southwest Florida have some elements that may be different than where you may have lived elsewhere. And we're here today to share specifically what you may be facing when you do a home inspection on single family condos or villas here in the Venice area. And the reason we want to do this is we just want to eliminate people being surprised, caught off guard, disappointed, because when they're disappointed, I'm disappointed truly. And so to the extent that we can help highlight some of these things, help set their expectations or shape them at least, we want to do so. So one of the things we do is we work with a number of vendors and we have a collection of them specifically for the Venice area. And today I have the owner of Safe Buy Home Inspections based here in Venice, Mr. Don Casavoy. And Don, thank you very much for taking the time to share information with the folks out there. We've worked together on home inspections and we'll jump right in. So,
yeah, thank you, Chris, for inviting me.
You betcha. Don, if you would, what areas do you serve?
So Charlotte County to Manatee County.
Okay. How long have you been doing home inspections?
10 years here in Florida, 15 years total.
Okay, and again, folks, he's actually the owner of the company, so fully engaged in what he does. Is it primarily residential inspections?
Yes.
Okay. And Don, when you came to Florida, were there any things about home inspections that surprised you that were drastically different than you've seen elsewhere? Anything that jumps out?
I wouldn't say so much drastically different. There's less components here in Florida than there is in Michigan. Michigan, we have basements. Here, everything's generally on a slab, especially in our area.
Okay.
So you don't see too many issues. I'd say in 10 years, I've had one foundation issue out of all the inspections I've done. So.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's a little surprising. Yeah, because of my premise.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, these slabs are built on sand. You go down 5-6 inches and it's sand, so we have to be careful. So just the one.
Yeah.
I'll be darned. In your day-to-day, what are the things you see most commonly? Whether it's, again, single-family, villa, or condo. What do you see most commonly? No particular order.
Yeah, most commonly I think the roofs are probably the biggest issue because we do have hurricanes here. So that's where most of the damage is done. And then also the plumbing. Plumbing issues come up quite often.
Okay, specifically why in the plumbing?
A lot of homes have older copper.
Older copper?
Yep.
Okay. And I asked you previously, before we started recording, is there more corrosion here or less or about the same you see elsewhere?
I would say I'd say on average. I mean, we do have a little bit more humidity here, especially in bathrooms.
Okay.
So because you do have your toilet, the colder water with the warmer air, you can get more condensation. So.
Okay, so that'll provoke that. And about the roofs, just give them a quick intro on our roofs, the kinds of roofs you see. What's the material? You have shingle and you have tile, but...
Yeah, you have the concrete tile roofs. You'll have the shingle roofs, low slope roofs. You're going to have a modified bitumen, which is more like a rolled roof.
Oh, okay, okay. Yep. And with the specific, because the majority are tile, right?
Yes.
Okay. You have the tile up there, and for the folks out there, it protects a little bit, but it's fundamentally...
Yeah, it's more that's more aesthetic than anything. Underneath that, you're going to have the SWR, which is a secondary water-resistant barrier.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's a waterproofing, and for the people from up north, that's like water and ice shield, basically. But the whole roof is covered in it. So
it has that. It's like saran wrap, layered on saran wrap.
Yeah, and that's what actually keeps the home dry.
Okay, and to carry the weight of those tiles, generally how thick is the plywood up there, the OSB?
7/16.
At least that.
Yep.
And newer have a little closer to 3/4?
They need to have a 7/16.
Okay.
Is basically, even in new builds, you see it's 7/16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll jump into a 4-point. There's a term out there we call a 4-point inspection. It's 4 systems of the house. Don, what are those 4 systems?
It's heating and cooling, plumbing, electrical, and the roof.
Okay. When you inspect those systems, what are you doing? What does the customer, the end user, get when you inspect?
So the 4-point is for insurance purposes. So we're actually working on behalf of the insurance so that they know that that home is insurable. So
Insurable.
Yeah. So the roof, you're looking at any kind of damage on the roof. Tile roofs are going to crack. I mean, that's inevitable.
Okay.
Any kind of cracks on the roof have to be repaired. And then your plumbing, you're looking for any kind of corroded valves, any leaks, things of that nature. Water heater, making sure that the water heater is in good working order. And the age of the water heater now is an issue with insurance companies. So.
Okay, what is there a magic number out there they're looking for so they leave it alone?
I think it's like, I don't know offhand.
Like another way to ask is, when is down here, because it's different everywhere you live, when is the age of a water heater out of bounds? Like, oh boy, you need to do something. What's kind of the mental note down here?
Right around 9 years, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little disappointing, but if you monitor them quarter by quarter, just make sure it's not rusting and showing signs of.
Yeah, you're definitely looking for any kind of rust, any kind of leaks, corroded fittings on the water heaters. The ball valves are a big one. Those will have a lot of corrosion on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to keep them running as long as possible. Wind mitigation is another report that we're being asked by insurers to generate. Can you break down, it's a fancy word, wind mitigation, for the folks that may not have heard that one before?
So wind mitigation is for your insurance purposes also. So that is to help the buyer get discounts on their insurance. So for your roof, the age of your roof, if you have an SWR, that's that secondary water resistant barrier. The roof strapping, you can either have this single strap, double strap, clips. You'll get credits for those.
And let me paint them a picture. Strap, so if you have a truss sitting on the walls, it's a strap that goes over and...
Yep. Or they'll just have a clip, and it has to be 3 nails. So, and then impact windows, or hurricane covers, you'll get credits for that too. So,
credits. Okay, and the more credits he can document, you can get
your insurance.
Your insurance, yeah. So it's really a thing. Let alone the convenience of having systems so you can have more peace of mind through the hurricane events. Let's jump over to wood destroying organisms. We call it WDO. This is a term used across the country, someplace it's carpenter ants or what have you. What are our kind of a couple primary WDO type issues that we might be watching out for?
So any kind of wood outside, you could potentially get termites in. I know that we have block homes with stucco, but you still have wood on the inside, baseboards, door casing, your trusses. We've seen termites and all that stuff. So
you have seen it. I asked off camera, but I want you to hear it. Homes 5 years and newer versus older homes, which one has more instances?
Older homes definitely have more termite issues, but even the new builds, sometimes you can find termites because the wood they bring in is already infected and they don't know it sometimes. I mean, it's rare, but it does happen.
Ouch. And then when you're watching for it, I know you have a specialist that goes for pest inspections, but
Yep.
what are your clues if you're looking around a house to see that there's possibly termites? What's the visual?
So if you see anything, like you mentioned, it looks almost like sawdust or coffee grounds, any wood that starts to look rotted, that could also be termites.
Okay.
So I always recommend having a termite inspection. It's cheap insurance.
Cheap insurance, peace of mind.
Yeah.
Okay. And then along those lines, what pest, if any, do you run in most frequently that's been around the house or impacted the house?
Palm rats.
I wasn't expecting that. Go ahead.
Yeah, you'll get palm rats, especially, I mean, they live in palm trees, but anything vegetation close to the house will give them access to the roof. And if they can get to the roof, they'll go in the attic and they will make a home in there.
A nest, okay.
Yeah, so it's important to keep any vegetation off the house. But yeah, palm rats are probably the next biggest.
Okay. Of course, we have trees down here, but it's the palm type plants that will grow, 6, 8, 10 feet and give them a bridge to hop up there.
Correct, yeah.
I haven't seen it too much myself yet, so, but you don't want these things to get the jump on you.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why it's always good to have the inspection done, because if they find any penetration points, then they can get those closed up. Which will, yeah.
Yes, yeah, sounds familiar with like carpenter ants, same kind of thing, not letting the branches get too close to start that problem.
Yep.
Hey, I want to circle back on one thing, because we do get the rain various times. It comes in bunches. Moisture in general within the structures, single-family condos or villas versus you're from Michigan, I'm from Seattle and Chicago. Moisture in general within the structure, it has its own issues, or is it as troublesome, average? How would you characterize it for folks out there?
I would say whether it be here or anywhere, any home is susceptible to moisture damage.
Okay.
All depends on, again, the condition of the home, making sure that everything is sealed up tight. And that's why we use a thermal imaging camera on all of our inspections, because we can actually pick up where there is a leak inside the wall. It's not 100%, but it's, it does its job. It's saved a lot of homes that inspections I've done where we've found an issue within the wall that you can't see.
Oh, okay. Let's double back. So this is the device here?
Yeah, this is the thermal imaging camera. So you can pick up where insulation might be thin in the attic where you can't reach, and it'll show that in the pictures. So this is used by temperature.
Okay.
So if you have water damage, it'll pick up the colder temperature from the water.
Okay.
So yeah.
And how often on inspections do you use that?
I use it on every inspection.
Every single inspection?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a big one, so for clues.
Yep.
Did I hear the part about insulation, that whether you have enough or?
Yeah, so it reads temperature, so I can tell, and even in the picture, if it's lighter, then the area is going to be more yellow.
Okay.
So that's going to indicate that there's little to no insulation in that area.
Oh, okay.
So we can document in their report for them.
I'll just keep going on that. With the insulation up there, you want a certain amount if you can get it. Does it tend to tamp down quicker than other areas? Because once it gets tamped down, it's not quite as effective. Is it about average, would you say, because with our moisture going through these attics and all?
Yeah, you'll see more issues where there's foot traffic. When you have any kind of workers going up in there and walking around, if they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, that'll tamp it down.
Yeah, that'll lower the R value.
But in general, our heavy humidity doesn't necessarily bring it down significantly.
A little bit, yeah. It is blown in insulation, so it is going to compress over time. So
okay. Hey, do you have another fun gadget there? Tell the folks what it is and how you use it, please.
So this is the drone. Any new construction homes, we're not allowed to get on the roofs. So we have to use a drone to look for any cracks, cracked tiles, slip tiles. We can look and make sure that the roof vents have the proper flashing.
Gotcha.
A lot of times because you have to tuck that flashing inside the vent.
Okay.
A lot of times that's not done correctly, and if you don't, you can get water intrusion. Looking at any kind of venting on the roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
You kind of triggered another question. And folks coming down here buying new construction, getting a pre-purchase inspection, very prudent. We were talking off camera, some of the practices here since COVID are less than desirable, and you always have to kind of keep one eye open or both eyes open, just being careful and with a professional, engaged professional to watch for things that might be shortcutted.
Yeah, I always recommend on new builds to get a home inspection done. We also offer sewer scopes. We see a lot of issues with the sewers because debris gets flushed down the sewer and then it's not used a whole lot. And then once you move in and people start using the plumbing, then you'll start getting backups, or when they're driving the machines over through the yards, they drive boulders through the pipes. We see that quite often. So home inspection, sewer scope, I think that's extremely important in a new build.
I want to underscore that one. Yeah, when they're building these homes over that 9-12 month period, various things are the pipes and the toilets are literally open. Some of the pipes outside, and debris will get in, dust, drywall, nails, you name it. And I know for our neighborhood, it's kind of Russian roulette. I'd say out of 200 homes, we probably had 6 that 1 to 3 months later had to call a plumber because all their receptacles are backing up, debris in the pipe. So I can't stress that one enough.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen water bottles. I mean, it's endless.
Yeah, water bottles,
Everything
definitely water bottles.
Yeah, everything within, during the process.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. So do that one, folks. And Don, if you're speaking to a family member, friend about a home purchase down here, can you generalize ways? We've talked a lot of systems and things that you see day to day, but just a kind of an overview of things that you'd recommend that they do to keep the structure as sound as it could be, so you're not getting a lot of squawks and issues needlessly.
Yeah, it's always important to pay attention.
Pay attention
to everything within the home. I mean, when you're go underneath your sinks, look and make sure there's no leaks, because they are going to happen over time. You know, the roofs is another one, especially after hurricanes. It's always a good idea to have a roof inspection done because of the hurricane. If you have any damage, that's where you start getting a water intrusion. So I recommend doing that. Yeah, I mean, it's pay attention to, another big one is the HVAC, your condensation line.
Yeah.
That gets clogged up. So that's always a good thing to pay attention to. I would always recommend getting on a service plan with an HVAC company so they can come out and clean that, because those units do run year round.
Yeah, they run year round. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so pay attention. Like other parts of the country, pay attention, but prevention is a lot of times less expensive than recovery
Right.
of an issue. So,
Yeah, if you catch it soon enough, then obviously it's going to be less
yeah.
issues for you.
Well, thank you on that very much. And folks, what I want to also do is interject my comments as far as systems for single-family condos, villas. It's what I see, because I don't only open the door. I'm there on all the inspections, always have been. This is my 21st year doing this. And we're sitting there between buyers and sellers and an issue, and professionals telling us about the issues, trying to kind of be a referee. How do we get through this, if possible? If not, we back away from the home. But a lot of times we're in the middle, so we have to be observant. I just, in no particular order, I want to just give you several things that I see here for Southwest Florida, specifically Sarasota County, specifically Venice, because I'm Greater Venice Realty. No particular order. These homes, as we've talked about, are built with block, so that's great. Gives you a sound foundation, but they're built on slab, so it's kind of a simple construction. So they're block on slab, real good, right? Okay, let me continue. We'll circle back to that in a second. When I go into these houses, I view also not only as the viewpoint in helping sellers, but I also help buyers, certainly. These homes are in good shape. They're in real good shape, generally across the board, all types, because a lot of them are bought, 35% of them are bought as second homes. People from afar have the money to buy this as a second home, and they have the money to keep them maintained, so you don't see a lot of degradation of the systems needlessly. So that's good. Usually the worst thing I see across the board is I'll go into a home and maybe the systems, the finishes are outdated. And that is, their primary home is elsewhere, and they're going to keep that tip top. But this home down here, the second home, optional home, they'll keep those appliances, systems functional, but they're not really that pressed to make them current for whatever the styles are. So that's probably the worst affliction these places have. And as I alluded to, the homes are built on slabs, but this is a time more than ever, since they're built on sand. The slab is on sand, that's it. So this is the time to get an A+ when you're monitoring what kind of systems you have for drainage, your downspouts. How are they set up? How many? How far is it directing it away? I'm speaking here. Get an A+ on this one to make sure that water is getting away from that structure, because that slab and the rest of the house is sitting on sand. And if you've ever been to the beach, it doesn't take much to erode. And once you get behind the curve and that foundation settles more than it should have, you're going to be disappointed. So that's another way to look at it. They're built on sand, essentially. You go down 6 inches, you're sand all day long. So please do a good job on drainage. And one other thing, as we go into these homes, we're watching for how old are the systems, whether it's the windows, the roof, the HVAC, plumbing, electrical, the flooring, kitchen elements, how old are the systems, because we know replacement cost today is very expensive, can be a hassle, getting them installed can be a hassle, and so looking to see which combination is best for you and your budget. Be mindful of that. I know the agents are. So those are my inputs, because I don't want to just sit here passively and not speak up. That's how we look at things. So as you can see, working through these kinds of inspection issues is important. You got to pay attention, and having reliable professionals is key to this. It's because with that kind of help, it helps your move to Florida be as successful as you want it to be. As I do say all the time, who you work with does matter. So again, thank you, Don.
Absolutely.
And folks, till next time. And if you have any questions, comments, go ahead and put them below. Take a look on our playlist. We're going to have more videos like this, information specific to homes, residential, for Venice. Take care.